what are you doing here?
Venturing to where?
Mexican National Circus on tour in England is an act so bizarre that a major controversy has now erupted. 9-year-old Danny Ramos Gomez and his 14-year-old brother Larry are billed as the werewolf kids. Head to toe, covered in thick, coarse hair, they work as acrobats and clowns. But critics charge they are being exploited as nothing more than human oddities, a throwback to the days when sideshow freaks ruled the Midway. As long as there have been circuses, there have been sideshows. Those dark and disturbing exhibits where such grotesquely exotic creations as the bearded lady, the rubber man, and the human blockhead were stars. But in recent years, due to changing mores in society, advances in medicine, and plain old circus economics, sideshows have all but disappeared. That's why the appearance of the Gomez brothers has caused such a stir. Are they for real?
And you can tell.
Dermatologist R. Patrick Abergel thinks so. He says they suffer from a rare genetic disease with no known cure called hypertrichosis, a disorder in which the hair grows uncontrollably and the teeth are malformed.
I'm really convinced. And I saw the hairs and I saw the teeth abnormality and the fact that there are two brothers. Yeah, I think it's for real.
Real or not, after their story made headlines in the British tabloids, hundreds of critical letters poured in, and local politicians banned the boys from performing. It wasn't until they made a personal plea to go back to work and captured the public's support that they once again took center stage. Circus manager Roberto Campa says Danny and Larry were gratified.
They say we have to work because we like work. We like you enjoy it.
That same sentiment is being echoed in this country by the dwindling number of performers who still make their living at the few sideshows which remain.
Let's use this hammer here to drive it in.
At the Ohio State Fair in Columbus, Brian Hughes pounds nails for a living right through his nose as a human blockhead.
The more weird they think I am, the better. I guess in reality, I am sort of weird.
And on the boardwalk in Coney Island, disbelieving spectators thrilled to Isha Vudi, the human pincushion, Zenobia, the bearded lady with an attitude, and the illustrated man, Michael Wilson, to whom Hammer Time, he says, has a special meaning. While the shock value found in these performances is undeniable, these performers feel that they are no different from anyone who makes their living on stage, and they take pride in being part of a dying breed.
We're one of the last American sideshows going on anywhere in the country. And I'm proud to carry on the heritage of sideshows. If you really want to know the truth, I like it because we're one of the only.
According to Professor Robert Bogdan, who's authored a book on the history of sideshows, it's only a matter of time before the last of them are gone for good.
They're not very popular.
They're called runaway productions, movies that are shot outside of Hollywood for reasons of economics. Runaway production means runaway dollars. And recently, the American film industry has been crying they went that-a-way as more and more producers are heading due north to Vancouver.
Certainly, we'd like to become the #2 film capital in North America.
Roll sound here, we're rolling. And action.
I mean, guys hanging around the house, what are you doing? I'm trying to get free, Anthony.
This is what Steve Mastardi is talking about. American films being made in Vancouver, British Columbia. And that Canadian chutzpah has some industry observers keeping a wary eye on the one-time logging town. Armed with a favorable dollar exchange rate, British Columbia is already being called Hollywood North.
This is one of the few places outside of Los Angeles or outside of New York where you're actually going to get the quality that Hollywood delivers to the world.
As chairman of BC Film, a venture capital firm in Vancouver, it's Wayne Sturloff's job to make U.S. entertainment businesses realize how much they can save by heading north.
Yeah, Mom, I'm into
So what's so great about California?
You're going to save about 20% probably.
That's one of the reasons TV producer Stephen Cannell decided to build North Shore Studios in Vancouver.
The reality of the economics of episodic television in 1991 is you have to go where you can get the best deal.
Need a little help?
Cannell isn't alone. The BC Film Commission, in little more than 12 years, has racked up an impressive list of feature and television credits. With only occasional fluctuations, the industry has continued to grow. In 1990, 16 feature films were shot in British Columbia. at a cost of $113.5 million. There were also 12 TV series with a dollar figure of nearly $155 million. Add to that another $54 million for 18 movies of the week, TV pilots, and anthologies. And that's the root of a growing money tree.
You're looking at probably 3 times turn, because everybody who comes here spends money. They rent hotel rooms, they eat meals. And if you take that multiplier effect, you're probably looking at an industry last year that direct and indirectly contributed almost $1 billion in this province.
20, take 2, Mark.
That's found money for Canada, lost money to Hollywood. But California still commands more than 50% of the film and TV business. And with cooperation from the unions, Melissa Higgins is confident Hollywood will maintain that lead.
There is no such thing as Hollywood north of the Canadian border.
You'd have a hard time convincing the Canadians of that. For them, it's opening night. And if they have their way, all that glitters in Hollywood could one day fade to black.
And cut. That was great.
This in theaters.
I'm blinded by such beauty.
How can I compete? You're twice the woman I am.
But you know, these studio executives, they're never satisfied. The trailer may work, but executives felt some of the movie's scenes didn't. So they reshot them and now have their fingers crossed. And finally, the man responsible for wrecking 2 Hollywood studios, former MGM United Artists owner and billionaire Kirk Kerkorian, this week came close to wrecking his